speaker two to deliver the project 3 from level 3, and to introduce this speaker. And she, from the day she joined the Toastmaster BTC, what I observed is that her active participation. I'll never seen she taking she participating without any roles and participating in the contest, and everywhere I see her passion and active participation. And when I asked her about the fun summer moment, she said in summer she can eat ice cream how much ever it is possible. And when I read this, that made me tempt, and I also felt like eating ice cream today. And thank you so much. And with that, let me call our Toastmaster uh, Padma to deliver the project 3 level 3. Do you want to know about me? Toastmaster Padma, do you want to know about me?
Thank you, Team Rupa, for introducing. I'm going to call upon Agila because she's the main person in this speech, and I'm just going to be accompanying her in this speech. I'll give it off to Akila now.
Okay, thank you, Padma. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so honored and it's a big privilege from BTC to introduce and welcome Toastmaster Padma, who is a management professional, who is a budding YouTuber, who is also known for cooking and baking. She has various interests like playing piano. She's so much good in meditation and mindfulness. She has got great comments being good at communication. She prepares yummy food and she's also good in preparing wine, I guess. I didn't know all of this. So once we started meeting, trust me, she's going to cook for all of us and we are going to have to taste her yummy food and especially wine. With that note, this interview is to let larger audience know what Padma is good at and her experiences and few tips at the end where we all can learn from her. So Padma, thank you for joining today. Shall we directly get into the questions?
Yes, Lata. Akila, sorry.
No problem. So Padma, I see that you are a management professional for the last 10 years. Now, cutting the butter, what has been the biggest challenge being in management for the last 10 years?
The biggest challenge being in management is, of course, handling people, because there are various different kind of people. Sometimes when you sit down with a person and try speaking to them, try to understand what their problem is, some people take it positively. Some people like, what the hell is she trying to do? Is she behaving like my elder sister? Is she behaving like my sister? So this is how, it's a tricky thing. You have to understand the person, and then you'll have to build your conversation with that person. Some people may like to be told, hey, you're doing a great job. Some people, like, if you say that also, they're like, oh, okay, so what? So that's a kind of a mix which goes through in the management, especially when you have to give them feedback. Now, if you appreciate them, you'll have to be so cautious and appreciate them, because nobody takes appreciation just the way it is. And feedback, who else would know much better than our Toastmasters? So I don't want to dwell there.
Okay. Now, having said that, you said how it is important and how it is different from a person to person when they receive a feedback. You would have seen so many people under you during this last 10 years. Now, someone would have come to you, heard all good things that you have to tell her, and go back and stab you, saying, she said all this, I don't believe her. And they would have said some more rumors about you. So how do you handle such situation? If you can't go back and scream at them because you're their manager, at the same time, you have to smile, have the anger in your head and your heart, but still be very polite. Do you react or do you don't react? So how do you tackle the situation?
So ignorance is bliss, what I always think. And that's very apt for this management role, because sometimes our own reportees, they would come to us with an intention of that we are going to grant what they want from us. And when we subtly tell them it's not going to work, then we become a wrong person to them. Irrespective of, you take that cautious step, explain them that, what, 3 people have applied for leave, and I can only give leave for one person. And you get more detail and tell that one person is getting married. It is important to take the leave. The other 2 people are going for their relative's marriage. So what's more important? Going to his own marriage is important. So even if you bifurcate and break it down and give them an explanation, still, somewhere they will have that grudge in their mind. Is like, okay, I asked her for the leave and she didn't grant. The best thing is, if you're in the team leader role or in the manager role, do not get into the leave conversation at all. That's my advice for all of you, because for sure you guys will be in the management role or will be getting into the management role. Assign a person, delegate, and stay out of that. That's the best thing which we can do, and I've practiced that and it's worked well.
That's nice, Padma. So it's good to delegate not only work, it's good to delegate the bad person's face also to someone else so that we are safe and we are good to them. Now, Padma, I see that you are a budding YouTuber, and I've just recently, just before joining the meeting, I listened to your pepper rice. Now, two questions in this. So many videos are there in YouTube on food. Okay. How did you come up this? Again, me, why me? All these thoughts which have come to you. And how did you overcome those thoughts? And what was the first thing came to your mind that I should do this? Why YouTube? Why cooking?
See, cooking has always been my passion, but I didn't know how to express that, except for feeding my family and my extended friends. I used to feed them, but then I took a step back to think, what are we really doing about cooking? Most of us working professionals, we are so busy. So what we do is we either buy those, if there is a simple thing like our lemon rice, right? You walk into one of the store and you see that there is a lemon rice ready mix pack. All you do is just pick up that and come home, so that in 5 minutes you get the lemon rice done. That is what most of us focus, and I've also done that. Not that I've never done that. I've also done that. But later I realized, it's not at all a big deal if you organize things well. And that's pepper rice can just get done in just 5 minutes like this if you have everything at home, right? So now, how do I connect? My whole theme of the YouTube is to tap our busy audience, meaning a busy housewife or a busy a man who's going to office and still have to cook for himself. So that is what I wanted to focus on. And hence, most of the videos are quick videos and something which you can get done in your house. So that's why I did that. And the very fair question is, there are so many people with pepper rice, and why should I do the pepper rice? Initially, I thought of doing something different, but for me to establish myself here, I love to give you what you want, because you know the pepper rice. If I had to give you something else which you don't know, which is my unique try, where will you go search? You wouldn't search that, right? So start off with the things which you want, is in what the audience would want, and then get into some, a unique stuff. That's what my strategy was.
Okay. That's really nice, Padma. Actually, when I listen to this to all of you guys, I listened to Padma's video. I would suggest all of you to go and watch the video. Two things which I really liked about Padma's video is that one honest feedback when she gave, she forgot an element which she has to add to the stuff, where she forgot to add cashews, and she said you can still add it. And it is not like some funda people. She did it in her own kitchen. I could hear the vessel noise. It's not something pre-recorded. It was all, it is not something like most of the videos which we see. Either it will be too local or it will be too high funda, but it was medium where we can see ourselves in her place. And as she said, it is really, really quick. So that's all what we need. And it has to be healthy at the same time. So both these things are there in the element, what video, whatever Padma has put in. So let's all go watch more videos and pick it up and do it in our home. Now, Padma, last question to you. You have been doing a lot of things. As I see in the kitchen was clean. Might be you have cleaned it that day, or I don't know if it's clean all the time. As I see the background, it is again looking clean. I see a lot of books here. You have been in management, you have been working, you have a husband, you have kids. So everything is there in busy life. How do you manage doing meditation? How do you plan to play piano? How do you work? How do you balance all of this? And how do you still grow up in your career?
So I'm completely not into meditation. I'm just learning it, and I'm completely not into piano. Piano is something which is actually keyboard, not piano at this point of time. Came into my house only last month. So this has been a dream for me ever since I was a child. But I couldn't afford to buy one, or I couldn't have the time to do it, right? So what I've done in the last 5 6 years, no matter how much we earn, we spend that. But there's only one thing which you can retain with yourself is a knowledge. So what I started doing is, every year I pick one task and I focus on that task and upskill myself on that, like the baking, right? I did this baking 3 years before. I went for a diploma, went and got my baking done, and then slowly I just started making cake at home, and I also deliver cake. Likewise, last 3 months before, I'd undergone a surgery in which it was an eye surgery, and I was kind of almost like blindfolded for almost 2.5 months. I can't see TV, I can't read, I can't use mobile, I couldn't do anything. So I don't know what else can I really do, and I'm not a person who can sit quietly at home. Then is when this wine came into my mind, and then I asked my dad to play the video. My dad was playing the video from YouTube, and I was listening to it. After listening to it, on my way to my checkup, I had to go for a regular checkup to the hospital. On my way to the regular checkup, I bought the grapes and came home. That is how the wine came into picture. Trust me, if I did not have that medical leave, the wine would not have come in my place at all. So that is how I just, just make an opportunity, make the time an opportunity for yourself. That's how I kind of do it. Now my piano classes happen once in a week, 1 hour class. Trust me, anybody can make that 1 hour for your own self, for the passion which you have. And I wouldn't say it's very easy. Sometimes I have to cancel the class because of some meeting or some other session, but I still can just give him a well in advance notice and tell him that I may not be able to join the class today. So too many things happen at the same time, but if you kind of organize it, put a time for yourself for everything, it works well. And I'm doing it definitely when you can do it.
Thank you, Padma. Thank you so much. There's a lot of takeaways from your speeches. There is a lot of takeaways when you attend a TTM. There's a lot of takeaway when you give your interview also. And a lot of people who are very young here would have picked it up 1 year, one task. We all can spend 1 hour per week, which is definitely easy for all of us. If you're married, if you're not married, if you're working, if you're not working, no matter what you do, 1 hour per week is definitely feasible for all of us. And if not 1 week, it's okay. We can skip that. Is a key message which I've taken up from Padma. I'm sure all of you would have enjoyed this interview, and thank you so much for joining us, Padma. Back to Padma and Rupa.
Thank you, Akila. Thank you so much. So in this conversation, there's quite a few things I learned as well. That is what is this forum all about, right? Thank you so much for interviewing me and making me feel good and make me feel that I have to be more effervescent in the future days to come. Back to TM Rupa. Thank you.
Detailed evaluation. Let's move to the second speech evaluator. Another very inspirational person. So let me tell you all of you, when I joined Toastmasters, I joined BTC. BTC was not my first club. So when I joined BTC, this person was club president, and I have seen her giving very mesmerizing speeches. But one thing I have always wondered is how come she can make it so seamless or so natural, or without any, it looks like at least without practice, and just love her smile. So Lata, I welcome you for giving your evaluation for second speech.
Thank you very much, Richa. Thanks a lot. You people are making my day today, Rupa and yourself. I'm feeling very happy to be here in BTC. Good afternoon, all of you, and especially Padma and Akila. It was an interesting interview. After the interview, we were able to know about Padma very well. First, I will mention few points about Akila, and then I'll move to Padma. Akila, as an interviewer, you had presented about Padma's professions, interests, social media, etc. in the first cut itself, so that people would know about her, and it will create interest in the audience what they can expect from her. So that is very much required for any interviewer, right? So that is well done. And the questions were very well connected with her interests and her profession. And it was challenging, like how to tackle different people of different perspectives and why you had chosen this cookery show. So these questions were very apt and it created interest in the conversation. So that is about Akila. And Padma, as a speaker, according to your speech objectives, you had answered in a very well manner with examples to all questions which Akila has questioned you, like the leave sanction between different people and why you had chosen Jeera rice on YouTube. So it was very well explained, and your clarity, comfort level is good while answering the questions. You were very balanced while speaking as a manager compared to while you were speaking as about your interests. That pose was very well maintained. The answers were impromptu. I don't see it like a prepared kind of speech. And
you had motivated the audience as well, and not to forget their interest, make it time and opportunity for themselves, right? So in order to take your speech to the next level, I would say, as this is a motivational path, right, you would have chosen only one or two topics. Like you had chosen your profession, YouTube videos, personal interests, right? So if you would have chosen only one topic, you would have spent more time and dwell into the perspective and motivate the audience in that perspective, right? And I felt like you were not able to spend more time on each topic because it is only just 10 minutes. That is one I observed. And another one is on the gestures. Actually, the part as part of the objectives, there is something called gestures. In an interview, it will be very less space for the gestures. Actually, saying, I think you have to work on that. How can you incorporate gestures in an interview kind of speech? So other than those two, it was a great interview. I enjoyed very well. I have many takeaways in different perspective from you, and looking forward to hear from you more. Over to you, Richa.
Thank you so much, Lata, for that detailed evaluation. Now let me call till Akila actually came to the stage and she started speaking. Maybe that could have become more elaborative when you were giving objectives of the speech. So that's one thing for you, Lata. Apart from that, it was good. Thank you so much. Coming to you, Padma. I have been to Kardaspura Club once. It is very near to my home. I'm sure most of you might be knowing, but Padma was president of that club when that club was just, it was just growing or very first term. So I have heard so many stories about you, but did not know, what is the truth behind that. But today, after hearing you, I may understand but why people still remember you there. It was a great topic, and I really liked your library in the background. I really liked the setup you have. Everything was good, great conversations, and there was so much to learn from your conversation with Agila. But if I have to give you one or two small feedbacks, one is your background was nice. Honestly, I also want to have similar kind of library in my home, and it really gives a very professional look to your speeches. But I was not, maybe in this era of online meetings, you could have used a virtual background, which could have gone well with your theme. And another feedback from my side is, since your topic, the questions from Agila, there were so many questions and all were from different genre. I was really struggling to find that what is the main thing from me, from Padma and Agila's conversation. Maybe you could have restricted to one or two key topics, be it cookery or be it management thing or your personal thing which you mentioned. That was really inspirational when you said that you were having some personal kind of emergency 2-3 months. So that all these things actually demand one entire session on them. So maybe from next time onwards, you can just restrict on time or restrict on the topics for us. And to you, Agila, it was perfect. We all know that how much good job you do when it comes to asking questions to others and all. So kudos to both of you, Padma and Agila.
Over to President Toastmaster Agila.
Thank you, Rupa. It was indeed a great session. Who doesn't love summer, apart from the heat that we experience? It was a great session today. It was good to see Richa and hear her evaluations and to see a lot more people. Thanks for joining, Nazreen. The best speaker goes today to Padma. Best evaluator goes to Lata.